Hello. First of all, I would like to thank the judges, our opponents, and the audience for coming out here to listen to our debate on the Keystone XL Pipeline. The Keystone XL Pipeline has become a widespread topic of debate. We use gasoline and oil so much now that we must inquire in a more efficient way to transport the oil. Many people believe that the Keystone XL Pipeline would be just that. But do any of you know what XL stands for? It stands for Export Limited, meaning that even though we may be able to transport the oil quickly, it may not necessarily be the most efficient way, seeing as we may not have as much oil as expected and the fact that we may not be able to transport it to all the places we'd like to. Mr. Meyer earlier stated that, quote, job creation, end quote, would be prioritized when answering Ms. Brandt's question about priorities. According to the paper, Pipe Dreams, Jobs Gained, Jobs Lost by the Construction of Keystone XL by Dr. Laura Skinner and Dr. Sean Sweeney, the Keystone XL Pipeline may, quote, kill more jobs than it creates, end quote. Although the Keystone XL Pipeline would create many jobs, most of these jobs would be temporary. The Keystone XL Pipeline will create very few permanent jobs. Mr. Meyer also stated that, quote, TransCanada has a leak prevention programs, end quote. And although I don't doubt that, according to Julia Appleton-Hitz in her article, What are the Keystone XL Risks to Water Sources? There are many possible oil spills. On page 6 of the impact of tar sand pipeline spills on the employment and the economy, the potential impact of tar sand spills on jobs and economy, Dr. Laura Skinner and Dr. Sean Sweeney suggest that if an oil spill were to happen, it would, quote, generate significant economic costs and could result in job loss, end quote. Mr. Meyer stated that they could, quote, minimalize the impact on the environment, end quote. In Julia Appleton-Hitz's article, What are the Keystone XL Pipeline Risks to the Water Resources? It concludes that, yes, we can reduce the impacts of the pipeline afterwards, but that does not mean that the environment will not be impacted in the long run. Earlier, the affirmative side was talking about how taxes may increase. According to the Hidden Costs of the Keystone XL Pipeline by Curtis Moore, gas prices would increase 10 to 30 cents in the United States. Moore also tells us that Congress has haggled over how much to increase taxes, end quote, meaning that there will most likely be a tax increase if the pipeline is created. In fact, the, quote, Keystone XL Pipeline would amount to a hidden tax of about $44 per year on every man, woman, and child in America, end quote. Another point I would like to point out is the fact that the source of TransCanada was used quite a bit by the affirmative side. And I would also like to say that that would probably be a very biased source, seeing as it is the TransCanada website. In the documentary Gasland, made and directed by Josh Fox, some country locals in Pennsylvania were interviewed. These families talk about how their lives, home, and health situations have worsened since the pipelines and oil drills have gone in. They talk about how their water has been affected and how some of them can even light this water on fire. The way the government deals with it is horrendous. They basically make pools in the ground and put all of the processed water into those pools, and then set up sprayers to spray the water into the air. This is to quicken up the evaporation process. But as most of you know, that could eventually come back down in the form of precipitation. And I don't know about you guys, but I would prefer not to have oil raining on me. By looking at the given information, we can comfortably conclude the effects that would appear if the Keystone XL Pipeline was made. So the Keystone XL Pipeline will create many jobs, but what will happen to these people after the Keystone XL Pipeline? And why should we go through with a pipeline or a project so hazardous to important ecosystems and our health? So in conclusion, I would also like to thank the judges and the audience and our opposing teams again. So thank you very much.